I'm going to be talking about my diagnosis of autism and my specialist interest of cricket. I will take you to the next slide. Autism itself is a spectrum, and as you know, it affects everybody differently. Some people have it more severely, some people are a bit more high functioning. I would probably say I'm a bit more in between, in the middle. I usually have difficulties with social interaction, I like my routines, and I'll probably have sensory issues. When I mean by sensory issues, I'm not very comfortable with white lights. I like my personal space. You know, I'm not very comfortable with shopping malls, shopping centres, because it can get very crowded and busy streets, the smells, and the whole thing is just very chaotic. And I just feel neurotypical people just don't really understand me at all. I just really feel I wish people would accept me for who I am. But I'm not asking for like a massive shopping list, but I just wish they could accept me. I just feel the world is really polarized and somewhat ableist. I'll just go to my second section. As you would know, autistic people do have specialist interests. They do. You know, a lot of them have, your typical autistic stereotypes like computer video games, art, music, trains, and so and so. Mine just happens to be cricket. How did I get into it? It started watching the Sharjah Cup, well back in the 90s. It did when it featured like a trio of subcontinental teams. It was mainly like 50 over cricket, but that got my adrenaline, really excited because cricket back then in Sharjah was really got me going, and the atmosphere was great on the television, and that's how I got into the sport. I did. And Sharjah itself, though, all those years with the Test cricket, ODIs, and the T20s has hosted a Guinness World Record of 318 international matches from 1984 to 2025, which is amazing. You know, in just like from 1984 to 2025, 41 years. That is amazing. It is. So Sharjah is doing really well. But then I got into Test cricket later on, which is technically my favourite format. So we'll talk about more about cricket formats later on. I just want to run on to my third part, which is cricket itself. And we'll tell you about the laws of the game and so on. As we all know, cricket has got a very rich history and its quirky laws. There are 42 laws. I can't tell you all about it, but what I will say is the sport itself, as you will probably know, I am autistic, and as an autistic person myself, I love structure. I love routine. So cricket has, lots of different fielding positions. I know my captain when I used to play cricket back in the day. He would tell me, Salim, would you please field that fine leg? Okay. And then the next minute, could you go and field that in the covers? So what I like about it is it gives you that sense of purpose. That nice structured routine and a nice green space and a serene environment, and it's just so much better than being in a busy city where it's all that fast paced, selling people, all that smells in a cricket field. It's peaceful, it's quiet, nice, set fielding positions, unusual names, but they have a rich history to it. And I like it, because I'm a very eccentric person, but I'm not your stereotypical autistic person. So I like collecting these facts and figures, and that's what gets me going, really. And it calms me down in a way. It gets away, it does, because neurotypical people don't really understand me. So for me, cricket's my strength, and it's a neurotypical's weakness. Let's roll on to my cricket part 2 as we get the ball rolling. You can see that cricket has definitely improved my social skills. That's back in my playing days. Nowadays, though, I like to volunteer my time. I do as a coach. I've also volunteered as a cricket scorer. I didn't do very long, but I've done a bit of cricket scoring in my spare time. And that's also quite enjoyable because I like to collect the facts and figures. I like cricket statistics. I do. And it's a very enjoyable way. Cricket scoring is very relaxing. It is. I like volunteering as a coach, cricket coach, multi-sports coach, and it's a good way to develop your social skills using your lived experience as an autistic person. And it's always good to use your lived experience and help out other people who might be on the autistic spectrum or might have other disabilities and then help them to develop for the future. And that's the way it should be. As for cricket formats itself, I'm not very keen on shorter formats like T10, T20, or the hideous 100. The 100 itself in general gives me meltdowns. The bright colours and all those fast food brands, that's a major turn off. I don't like it. So I hope you enjoyed watching this presentation today. Please subscribe to my video and put a thumbs up. I hope you enjoyed watching today. Thank you very much.